going on, y'all? I want to check out this update from Johnny Somali, this nasty live streamer that ruined his life so he could get clout. Had people looking at me insane when I was in Japan. I'm like, I ain't no Johnny Somali. I'm enjoying the culture. But anyway, let's see this update. I heard it's getting crazy with him. My bad. Heard it got really crazy with his situation.
Today we have an update on how Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, is spiraling after his sentencing, giving out some misinformation, and how he could face potentially another year in jail if he is not careful. We'll get into that today on The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So in case you guys missed the trial, hopefully all of you guys caught that. The trial of Johnny Somali, Ramzi Khalid Ismail was in late February, and it absolutely went horribly for him. It cannot have gone worse. And one important thing to remember from that was Ramzi Khalid Ismail attempted to apologize and ask for leniency at his last trial. Prosecutors issued a very strong sentencing recommendation, which absolutely scared and shook him in the eyes of everyone who was watching him there in the court, especially the Somali conviction team, which has been there at every single trial, observing, watching, and taking notes, transcribing everything that's going down. And for all intents and purposes, he looked absolutely scared. But now he's trying to clap back, and he is kind of taking back his apology and going back to his old ways of attacking and insulting Korea right before he comes up to his April sentencing. Definitely not a wise move. And this is something we've seen from him in the past, where he'll go in, he'll not get the attention he wants, not get what he wants, and he'll end.
Man, he was bugging out, bro. I don't know why he would think it was okay to go over there and do a bunch of craziness. They do not play with their laws over there, bro.
Up spiraling. And if he keeps spiraling and defying things and trying to fight back, this could end up with another year in jail. I'm going to explain exactly how today, because we have some new materials that we've gotten from the Ministry of Justice in Korea that lay out exactly what he's going to have to do after that sentencing, assuming it goes the way that we see it will go. And it could end up with some more jail time. So let's start out with this. First of all, some fake news from Johnny Somali. He had posted this a while ago saying, oh, I got my deep fake charges dropped. I got everything, removed. Obviously, that is very, very much fake news. In fact, we even have a confirmation from Bong Bong, who was also there along with the Somali conviction team. They had their lawyer access that court information and pull out that, hey, no, the recommendation was 3 years. Nothing was dropped. Everything is there on the record. All of these charges here, all 8 of these charges, including the 2 deepfakes, are still there on the record. So nothing was dropped. Another piece of information that was kind of misinformation floating around was that the deepfakes were somehow a different trial and there was a separate trial for those. No, there are separate trial dates throughout the course of this trial. The trial has been going on for several months, but it's not a separate case. So all of these obstruction of business charges, the Minor Offenses Act, the deepfakes, that's all part of one case. So the sentencing takes into account all of that. So let's go further to his apology before we get to what he said recently. So once again, remember this apology. This is what he said in court. He was saying he sincerely apologizes for his actions and expresses remorse. He says, I've been held captive in Korea for 1.5 years, during which time I've committed no crimes and learned to integrate into the society. So he's saying, okay, no, I'm now.
He's bugging and he's lying badly, bro.
Now, an appreciator of Korean society. I'm integrated, right? I'm part of this. I love Korea now, right? I did some foolish things under the influence of alcohol and realized the consequences. I sincerely apologize for that. Having been born and raised in the United States, I did not realize how serious the consequences of these actions were.
He's a liar. What? This dude is such a filthy liar. You 100% knew what you was doing. You was just trying to get clout. The more dangerous and reckless it was, the more attention you got.
Which would not be considered criminal in the United States, but could be in Korea. So this is what he said then. So let's tune in 1 second to what he is now saying about Korea after the trial. Once again, this is a recent comment.
You know what's really pissing me off, chat? Let me tell you what's really pissing me off. I think Korea is one of the stupidest countries in the world. I think Korea is one of the most stupid countries in the world. I don't even...
This is wise to do while you're over there, right? This guy's an idiot.
Think Korea is a first world country. I honestly think Korea is probably a second world country at best. They put on the mask and the plastic surgery. You know, majority of the got plastic surgery. I think this country is a second world country at best, because how are you so stupid?
And once again, he goes on ranting, rambling. I won't play too much more of this because there's a lot of cursing in it, a lot of this, but you can see how he is now addressing Korea, how he's now going back to attacking Korea, insulting Korea, insulting the culture, insulting the system, trying to make himself into a victim, trying to make himself into a person that has been victimized here based on his race, which absolutely was not a thing, and trying to mock the entire system. Once again, that goes in the face of your apology, or non-apology really, that said, hey, you've integrated into society.
Yeah, this dude was bugged out. Thank you for the support, Katarina. Real talk. Bang gang, all day, every day. Twice on Tuesdays. Thank you again, Katarina. Appreciate the heck out of it.
You're loving Korea now. Well, apparently that's not the case. Now they're stupid. Now they're third world. All this stuff, all this insults that he's throwing at Korea. Once again, after this sentence, after his recommended sentencing, once he knows the consequences, he's flipping out. And why he's really flipping out is all of his plans are thrown off. So let's show you a little bit of what he was actually planning before he came to Korea.
Now, what are some of your next plays? I don't know if you want to give away the game or anything, but
I'm going to Los Angeles to do a 30-day, 24/7 live stream. I'm going to I have a condo ready and already booked in LA. I'm going to put the address out public to IP2, to YouTube, to everybody, to Rumble. Anybody could walk into my condo at any time in Los Angeles with anything and just...
Ain't you banned on most of these platforms? How the heck are you about to post it onto all these? But this guy's crazy. Also, you gonna do the old school Ice Poseidon? You don't remember what happened when he was doing? All right. You gotta study your history, man. If you're gonna get into a field, study the history.
Bring content. We're just gonna do a 30-day social experience like Black Mirror, some fucking fish tank shit, but Somali tank. I'm gonna kick it off with doing the no jump. I'm gonna kick it off with doing the no jumper interview with Adam. Maybe do a with a Japanese girl and do some fucking World War II cosplay. Get the shit popping on Twitter, and then 30 days camera does not turn off with a cameraman live HD mic like this, quality up.
None of that is happening at all whatsoever. Yeah, so once again, going back to the apology, you can see that he's really a bit mad that this was not accepted by the prosecutor. This was not something they reflected on. They did not give him the sentencing he wants. He's crashing out all of his big plans in LA for doing all the heinous stuff he wanted to do, all completely canceled. He will not be doing any of that stuff at all whatsoever. He's going to be in a Korean prison, and that's not looking good for him. So that's exactly what's going down there. And you can expect that as the coming months pass towards April, as we come towards April, we're going to see more crash outs, more spiraling, as he knows the consequences are coming very, very soon. But let's
say how bad you got to be to get banned from Rumble. Yeah, nah, that's crazy. If you get banned from Kick, that's even worse, because they let you, wow.
Let's get back to the proposed sentence and just reinforce this, because there's some details that need to be clarified here. So the prosecutor recommended 3 years in prison with labor, a fine of 150,000 won, and sex offender registration. And I've said before, it's probably going to come out to about 2 years. I would recommend, the judge goes under the recommendation. So 2 years, that's something that can be very reasonable with labor, fine, and registration as a sex offender. Also, his 2 smartphones are forfeited. So a lot of people were confused about prison labor. So I wanted to go back and hit on this because people were misquoting promoting this or saying that they were going to send him to the gulag and I said something like he's going to go be sent to North Korea. No, this isn't like human rights violation stuff, guys. With labor just distinguishes from imprisonment without labor. And labor is physical labor. So you might say that's more strenuous than office labor, correct? But this is not working in a mine. This is not like you're on a chain gang, right? This is something where it's more like factory labor. That's going to be very, very, very monotonous. And to be very clear, the labor prison is not the foreigner prison. So the foreigner prison is more cushy. It's more comfortable. They have a lot of amenities. They have a lot of classes. They have a lot of things to do there. If you go to a prison with labor, you are not going to the specialty foreigner prison. You are going to a labor prison. That is absolutely different. So he will be jailed with mostly Koreans, not mostly foreigners. So he's not getting the comfy prison. He's getting the one that's for labor. And as a sex offender, when he'll have to register for that, he can't interact with non-criminals. So he'll likely be doing factory labor. So making fish cakes, making license plates, cleaning the prison, maybe the toilets and the showers. Hopefully he doesn't drop the soap. We'll see. Agricultural and outside work, unfortunately for the cabbages, may be off the table. But I got to reveal, on the 20th, the cabbage plushie will be available on YouTube's. We're gonna have this available. So for those waiting for the cabbage plushie, that
give a damn about your. My bad. I don't give about your plushie, bro.
will be in the description below.
Good for you, though, man. Get that money. Get that money. Nothing wrong with that.
But we're also having here his prison food. So this is the typical prison food in.
I mean, I just said at least he's employed now. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's what the food look like? That don't look good, bro.
The Korean prison, right? And this is only Korean food. So he's not going to be getting a special foreigner menu. He's not going to get, something a la carte for him. He's eating Korean food in prison with all the other Koreans doing it just like that, which is not exactly what he was hoping to be doing in LA. Now, this is something the Somali conviction team discovered. And if you would like to donate to them, you can go over to Ko-Fi and donate to the Somali conviction team that's been helping out with this. We discovered the sex offender registration system from the Ministry of Justice in the Republic of Korea.
I said, what was that at the top left? That food looked nasty, right? Yeah, that food looked horrible.
And this is the official paperwork. This is the official translation in English that's put out by the Ministry of Justice. So as part of this, you have a duty as an offender to register, and you must submit your personal information to a police station or to the correctional facility within.
I've had school lunch that looked better than that. Dead ass. I've seen cheese sandwiches look better than that.
30 days of your final conviction. So that's your name, your address, your occupation, your contact info, all your description, photographs, your criminal record, etc. Everything. Now, Johnny Somali has been saying, F the system, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to fight this. I'm going to, rebel against this. Well, if Johnny Somali does fail to do this, and it does fail to do this in a proper way, what's the penalty for that? Well, the penalty for that is up to another year in prison. So if Johnny Somali wants to be such a bad boy, wants to fight the Korean system, wants to go back and not do all these things he's supposed to do, well, if he doesn't submit that paperwork, he's going to be potentially jailed for another year and have a fine up to 5 million Korean won. So once again, this is a big thing for him. And I mentioned on my other stream, once he registered as an offender in Korea, that status may be able to transport over to the United States, where he would have to also report under SORNA in the United States of his offender status. Now, the next trial date, ladies and gentlemen, is on April 15th, 2026. The judge ignored Somali's stated wish to be sentenced quickly and instead set it for 2 months later. So we've got the April date. This was also confirmed once again by Bong Bong through her lawyer on her X. I retweeted that so you guys can see that. So April 15th will be the final day of the trial. But I'll have some more information out there because there are some other documents that the judge is considering in this case when he's making the sentencing. So we'll be going through those in the future. But until then, guys, take care and I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. That did seem like this dude is about to get his just desserts. He's about to reap what he sowed for sure. Was it worth it? Someone's doing some damn 24-hour stream. You clout chasing weirdo. I'm telling you, he makes it worse for foreigners that want to visit to certain countries, bro. I would love to visit Korea. Now they gonna look at me crazy. Especially if I got the camera, I'm filming, just having a good time. Yeah, nah, that's crazy. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Also, hit the hype button if you're able to. And watch more videos and check out my live stream.